Okay, so if everything has gone correctly, I should be live now. I'm going to keep looking that way because that's where my screen is, where I can see whether I'm live or not. Don't have enough room on this desk. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat below, and I will do my best to check and make sure the audios are fine, that you can hear everything. It seems to be okay from my little board. If it's not, let me know. So this is kind of an incredibly chill stream that is just me remaking my system from scratch. And it's about sharing kind of what I'm doing. Awesome. Hello, Reese. I'm going to turn my phones down. Is the audio all good? Levels okay? Bit of music in the background because I love working to music. But yeah, this live stream is all about planning and then rebuilding my Notion system from scratch. So I recently took Building a Second Brain, which is Tiago Forte's course, and it inspired me to make a huge amount of changes. And one of the big ones is what you're going to see today, which is just recreating my system in a way that kind of supports what I'm doing now. Whereas taking what I've learnt and what I've done and recreating it in a different way that suits me. So I've created loads of notes, loads of little things that I've started working on. But to start off with, I kind of created this, which is kind of my overarching look at what I like about my system, what I don't like, and what I need to change. So starting from the top, the system purpose is to create an adaptable system that changes depending on needs and basically inspires me to be the best possible me I can be. Adding on to this, it's kind of trying to move less from just a point of building, certain sections and in silos, and to kind of connect everything together in one place where it's really simple so that I can be really, really lazy and still kind of keep moving and always keeping moving. And so that's the idea. So I've kind of moved with this mindset-based planning. So kind of focus, going in flow, and different kind of contextual dashboards is what the term's called, to help keep me focused. I also wanted to move kind of moving from just capture to creation, which Tiago's course talks about an awful lot and is awesome. And so I came down here and kind of listed out all of these ideas I had, what business planning and the systems that I need, what personal things I wanted to create, because I really wanted to, I've had loads of like project management before, but I needed to expand that bigger. So we'll go through each of these today. My key priorities are having everything accessible within 2 clicks, because it's so easy to, I find it so easy to kind of connect everything together and then you kind of lose sight and you just click, click, click. And quite frankly, I'm too lazy to do that. I want to be able to come in, I want to open up my Notion dashboard, I want to get straight on with things, get it done, get my work done, get everything I want to set out and do, and get it done as quickly as possible. The next stage is connectivity. Now, this is a really careful balance between having everything accessible and having everything connected. Pardon me. So I want to have more connectivity between my databases. When I first created them, they were all really connected, but they were too much. It was overwhelming as anything. So I stripped things back. And now I'm kind of ready to add in connectivity more specifically where it matters. That's the important thing. I don't want to connect everything for the sake of connecting things. I want to connect it because I need to connect it or I want to connect it. If it doesn't need to be there, it's not. And it also, going on from the everything accessible, it needs to be really easy. Like, I don't want to have to figure everything out myself, like all the time, and spend all my time messing around with it. So I have ease of access. So the next thing that I've done is kind of a big brain dump of every single page that I have inside of my Notion, whether it be a page, a database, or a reference thing. I listed it here inside of a system brain dump where I just dumped everything. So everything from my resources, my areas, databases, everything was just dumped in here. From there, I kind of went from a system brain dump to what I'm keeping. And these are the things that I'm going to be keeping or editing with a few little bits of information on the side. So that's what I'm doing there. And then here are the things that I've archived that I'm not doing, because some things I just don't do. And although they're nice in theory, right now they're not what I need. So that's kind of where I'm going. Let's come into this. This was my brainstorm, and if anything, this has been the most amazing thing that I've done for my system when it comes to rebuilding it. It's finding the three kind of, excuse me. It's about finding three things in particular. I want to solve a problem. I want to really be clear on what I need to create and what the purpose is of my system. So this is kind of the higher level stuff, the purpose. What's the point in me building this system? If I'm going to be using the system, there needs to be a purpose. I can't just have it there to get organized. I want to be more specific. The more specific I am, the better the system will be. So first of all, it's creating a living system. So this is only the beginning of this system. It will grow over time as I get more experience, as I adapt it to my day-to-day living. And that's the idea. I want to be able to have it completely and utterly adaptable. But we'll come back to that in a minute. Personalized productivity. There are so many resources on the internet teaching you how to be more productive or sharing how to be more productive. And the truth of the matter is they're all great and they're also all terrible. You need to move from a place of just, you need to take what works and get rid of what doesn't. When you start building, and when I started building, I used to follow things regimentally. Regimentally? I don't think that's even a word. I used to follow things like to the point. But I realized recently through Tiago's course that it's better to kind of customize and edit it and tweak it based on what you want to do. And that's what I've done. Habit formation. There are so many habits that I want to track and get better at doing, but I never ever do them. So I want to get a bit more focus on what habits that I want to create, whether that is just simple getting up at a certain time, or whether it is something more detailed like live streaming, creating this, creating that. Next up is moving from capture to creation. I want to start creating more content. Well, hence why I'm doing this live. I want to create more instead of just capturing all my information. I have a wealth of knowledge and information that I've collected over the years, and I want to now share it out more freely. And my previous system, I couldn't do that. It was all over the place. Reduced overwhelm. I've gone through two main systems. One was really hyper connected, but that was overwhelming as anything. I had project lists this long and it was nuts and I hated it. In the end, I just gutted the lot. And the next one is to instigate a flow state. So this is kind of an idea behind that is, this is introduced by, I'm not even going to try and say his name because I will butcher it, where basically it's to get into flow so that I can just get in and focus down. If you've ever experienced that time where you start working and then hours and hours have gone by, that's a flow state. You've been in flow, and I want to get into the right flow states, not the wrong ones. And that's what I want to do. So that's the purpose. Let's move over here now. Problems with my current system, which took me a while. Let's boot this out. As you can see, there's a lot of them. So the first one was a lack of focus. I very much am in the details, the finer details. I never looked too far above. I did it with other clients, but not myself. So my system is kind of moving further back into the big picture thinking, the projects, the content creation, rather than just day-to-day tasks. It was to kind of solve frustration. Like, I was very frustrated. Like, I was always tired. I couldn't concentrate because I was too busy fiddling with little things and tweaking everything. I got a bit frustrated. Lack of action. I'm a busy father of two, and so I keep getting pulled away and then back again, and it's very hard to keep and sink straight back into action again. So it kind of just leaded to improductivity and lack of action and lack of concentration and everything. So those were the frustrations. I take a big sip of my water. So here is what I had before, or the system limitations that I have based on the different sections. As you can see, start seeing things open up now. So first of all, in my GSD dashboard, there was a lack of project focus. It was all about just getting stuff done, just going round and round and round and round. Now, since then, I have refined the process far, far more, but there's still that lack of project focus. And I'm going to show you how I turned what I had before into what I have now. I didn't have a goals dashboard. I had the goals all stored in my head, which is just silly. I didn't need that. So, moving on, weekly dashboard databases. So this was kind of like my weekly dashboard. If we just jump back here, I'll show you what my weekly dashboard looks like. And so, excuse me, these have been updated slightly, but you can see that I have all of these things that I'm working on. I haven't done this week on purpose to show what it looks like doing it in tandem. And so this is all very disconnected. Recently, I've decided to implement kind of like an active projects list, and I'm now going to set up the template for that properly in this session today as well. I'll go back to that. And then going back in, it's the disconnected systems. Trying to attach my weekly focus, which I listed up here, into actual projects that I'm working on. At the moment, it's just kind of a notes section for me. I want to bring that out of here and into the actual weekly focuses. And then my clients, and then an actions database. I recently got rid of all my tasks. I just found them really, I felt like I was spending more time inside each individual task instead of actually seeing everything at a bigger picture. So I wanted to recreate the actions database or task database in a way that actually suited my brain, which is not overwhelming all the time. So that's that bit. There we go. So that's kind of a very quick overview of like my system itself. Let's go out. Any questions, let me know, or I'll just keep talking. And so here's where things gets a bit interesting. It's my next part is the needs of my system. What do I need it to actually do? It's all very well and good to build a system and create a system, but if you don't know what it's for, there's that continuing lack of focus. And so these are the main, there are many more, but these are the clear priorities. Like these are the things that I really want in my system and I need to make sure that I can grow. A bit of water. So, clear priorities is a big one, and you'll see how very quickly that expands, and I'll go through all these little links in a minute. So top 3 things, it needs to be easily accessible, it needs to promote movement, and it's using something called that I've called the elemental shifts. Now, I have this weird obsession that I love. I love the show Avatar. And I always had a weird, I wouldn't call it weird, but I've always had a connection or an idea with, you know, the elements. They're really easy to explain and understand, and they really help me to stay focused and also inspire a bit of creativity and flexibility, which if I set myself really overly structured and rigid rules, it can be a bit confusing for me. And I end up just not doing anything because I can't follow the rules to the exact letter. So I needed something that was more flexible and that suited for how I was feeling at the time instead of just following these boring lists all the time. So going in here, it's these different sections which I've expanded on. Got the big picture, as I said before, staying grounded in actually what I want to be, where I want to be, and staying focused. And also kind of using different systems such as like my reviews, my templates, my 12 questions, which I'll get to in a minute. Oh. Moving into water, it is kind of like the fluidity, constant motion, action, focus, daily movement. It's all about kind of just keeping moving, which is very easy to kind of, when you're in the weeds and always thinking and just doing, it's hard to keep moving forward. And that's what I want to inspire with kind of like the daily actions and the focus. The fire goes into the drive. So this is where all my goals are, things I want to achieve and things I want to do, the things I desire to have or want to have in the future. Inside of here, I've got kind of wind, which is growth, whereas kind of like the idea of regeneration, entertainment, creativity, stuff like that, and creativity and most importantly, learning. And as you can see, there's some little red lines here, which is why everything's so spread out. Excuse me. And the needs here kind of go into depth about what the things that I need in each individual, like more specific. This is kind of more kind of top level, and then this is more specific and actionable. So let's close these down. So here in my learning dashboard, I need to be able to capture and create references. You'll see that links down below here. In my business, these are the things that I want to have. Close that down. I teach guitar, so I want to be able to have access to my students, the payments, the lessons, the songs, all of that in an easy access place. For my business in Notion, I want to be able to track finances, sales and expenses, stuff like that, all the normal stuff. Track live trainings I do, the clients, affiliates, stuff like that. As well as also kind of my content schedule and collaborations with other people. The personal part is really important. The music I like listening to and the music I like playing as well. I play guitar, I play piano, and I also sing. So I want to be able to track that better as well. The games I play, when I get into a game, I really get into them, and I want to be able to still transfer that out of my head and into a place where I can come back to whenever I want to. So I can just enjoy going straight into a game instead of thinking, okay, what was I actually doing? Then we have 2 journals, which we're going to dive into shortly. Then family time. So this is kind of talking about what I'm going to do with my family and also around the family as well. And then routines. This is kind of habit tracking, exercise and eating habits, just stuff I want to track. So this is all very much the top level stuff. Let's now collapse all that. Boop. There you go. There you go. And those are the things, that's where I wanted to start. So that was my brain dump. And now we're going to come in here and we're going to start creating and editing some databases. So let's go into my planning space. So this is a project in itself, and in fact I have it with a new status called split, because often, which I've just removed, I end up splitting my projects into different places because that helps me when I create really, really big projects, because I always seem to do so. And so I just made a few notes, what I wanted to do, what the outcome would be. Excuse me. And the challenge. And then here I've split it into 3 different projects. So this is my system design document and review. And starting from the top, I have my system purpose, the needs of this. Let's remove those. And then we have kind of like the general things I need to have, my notebooks, collaborations, content plan. This kind of takes it down on another level. I'm going to move this down, add this out. So this is how I kind of plan my databases. So all of these here are mainly going to be the databases on my system. Some may be pages, but most of them are going to be databases, from what I can see here. Yeah. And then I've just listed out my 4 key priorities. And as I said earlier, what I've got. Okay. Coming back here. And here we are into the meat of it. So this was all just kind of top level planning, hadn't done anything yet. And now we're going into the planning and the creation itself. So I first created an idea behind my teaching, which I will share in a second. Let's just load this up full screen so you can see it. So first of all, I created the databases and the plan for my databases. This is how I wanted to work. So this has changed now. I actually don't have it on this area, but we'll go in here. And I created a little plan based on kind of who I needed to keep in contact with, what sections of my teaching that I need to track. Pardon me. And then I came in here. So let's recreate this again. In here. So move in. So I had to start from the top here, doing the student resources and the songs. And if we come in here, into my teaching, student repertoire, and it kind of talks about all the songs that I'm currently teaching to my students inside of here. And this is just a gallery database, and inside of here, I have a couple of tags. I have when it was created, the artist, the students that are currently learning it, the chords, where it has a capo, and then it also attaches to a lesson database, which then links in together here. I then have a very simple recording, and I have the chords and vocals attached here, so I can easily share this with my students as well. So that's that there. So let's now create our first proper database in here. So I'm going to create it in here first, and then I will move it out into my resources page when I'm ready. Let's just collapse this, so it looks nice. There we go. Now we'll go there. Whoop. So let's think where I want to start off with. So I actually have my 12 questions already. So let's start with this. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create a page. I like to create full page databases purely due because I like the way it looks. I'm going to create a table to start off with. Excuse me. Got question. And I'm going to do we'll do topic tag. That's it for now. Which you can link to projects as well. Think about it. So before I want everything to kind of relate to each other. So by having that there, that will help. Let's just delete that. There we are. So I have that there. So now I need to find my 12 questions. Oh. Which I created during, there you are. So these I created during the Building a Second Brain course, and these are now going to take these and move them over, like so. I've actually got a few more than 12. Let's move a couple of those, and then these are going to be moved over. So a really cool thing when you're making notes, doesn't matter where you're making them. This is in like articles. You can move them over just with a Control-Shift-P, and I'm going to questions database. I think that's where we go. Cool. And then we're going to come back here. And then there we have all the 12 questions with a few extras there. Okay. I'm going to remove that. There we go. There we are. Just rearrange those. like so. So I have 13 questions because of course I do. So then we're going to relate this to another database that I already have. We can kind of come here, which is my topics and tags database, which I created recently. We go into relations, one here, and we have topics. I think I've renamed it topics. There we go. There we are. And then my next one, I want to link the projects that I work on to the questions that I'm trying to answer. So for project, let's do that, like so. I have loads of databases, there we go. So. There we are. Like so. So that's my 12 questions database there. So we can come in here and we can take that one. Sweet. So my next one I'm going to actually create is the behaviors, which I can't spell. Let's come in here, just remove all these, like so. I will keep that one in actually. We're going to create a excuse me, a select. So either it's going to be a positive, neutral, or negative behavior. And so the idea is when I do different reviews or kind of when I do my weekly reviews or my journaling or etc., I can come in here and set up and assign it as a positive, negative or neutral behavior. So there we are. So inside of here, I've got here these little drink. So, like I said, I have assigned the type and I've also got a score. So let's come in here and do that now. This could be a formula. And I'm going to assign a different number depending on what it is. So, if prop is equal to negative, assign -1. I'll do the same thing again. Else assign 0. Well, have I done something wrong here? Probably. I left us under the character 17. Oh. Close that off. Ah, of course, there we go. There we are, and then it's prop type is equal to positive. That's correct. Yep. Negative. Else it's 0. What am I missing again? Prop type equals positive. Ah. There we are. So that there is if prop type equals negative, -1. If it's a positive, +1. If it's neither of those, then it'll be a 0 because it is a neutral. So switch to neutral, it's a 0. Switch to negative, it's a -1. Switch to positive, it's a 1. And this will come in handy a little bit later on for me. Come back out here. If we go back to my system plan, what else do I need from inside of here? Come back to that a bit. There we are. Cool. Tracker, virtues database. So I'm now going to create a little journal. Let's do that one. So I'll do a page as before. Oh, you automatically have an active action now. That's cool. I didn't want to change that there. I don't know why it turns straight into a database, but we'll come back out and we will delete that. There you are, try that again. Now I always like to get galleries, so for this one I'm going to have a gallery. This is going to be my journal. And so this journal is going to be a very quick one, just to easily access. Oh, go away, go away, go away, go away. Thank you. Inside of here, I'm going to put created. And it's going back to this. It's going to take these databases information, come in here, and then I'm going to go down to journal, edit these. These are things I need to add. So first of all, we have the +1 start doing, -1 stop doing, and then keep doing. So these are tiny little things. These can be related to my behaviors. Not called tags. So I'm going to do a +1. We're going to actually duplicate that 3 times. No. Ah, see, I've actually updated this now. So, pardon me, because I have these, all 3 of these, I've got to keep doing, stop doing, and I keep doing, and start doing, stop doing, and keep doing. I could actually just have this assigned as a behaviors. Come in here. Tasks, there we go. Sweet, cool. And then whether I've taken my inhaler. That's there. That's just going to be a checkbox for now. I'm going to have a total score formula. And then we're going to do one more, which is a select. So, and we're going to have 3. I love the ConvertKit podcast that they're doing at the moment, which is kind of talking about how you're feeling. It's either red, orange, or green. I really love that idea because it's really fast to be able to do and fill in. And so that's what I want. Going back to what I said before, I want things really quick and fast and simple to get started with. So this is what I'm doing now. So I'm going to add in a couple of little icons. So red, orange. Oops. Press enter. Create red. I do orange. And we're going to do green. Like so. And then we'll turn these so that it's red. And then this one is orange. That's green. Just looks nice. There we go. Cool. And then the final one here is the inhalers, whether I've taken my inhaler in the morning. I have a terrible habit. It's going into my habits. I'm not taking my inhaler when I should, and I haven't. So I'm going to come in and do that. So I've got that there. So now we're going to go into total score. Might to do a funky formula there. First of all, we're going to come in. We need to toss up the behaviors. So we need to add a relational property. So the idea is that every day I can just come into this journal page and fill out these small, tiny details. Once again, really quick, really simple, and designed to be, not relation, sorry. It's designed to be really fast and really simple. So if I want to do more details, which often I will, I can do that down below. But no matter what, this system is designed for when I'm feeling really lazy. So if I don't feel like doing a full review or a full thing of what I'm doing, how I felt today went, I can literally just come in here, fill out these top properties. The tasks will be updated in a minute. And the behaviors, how I was feeling. Just get rid of that for now. Whether I took my inhaler. And then I can see at a really high glance on how things look. So that's what I've done. So I'm going to do a roll up here. And this is behaviors score, and we're going to link to the behaviors, so the property and the score, and then sum. So let's say, for example, we've got a well, we've got one there. Excuse me. So you've got a positive behavior there. Let's add getting caught up with small details. I do that quite a lot. Let's come in here. Now this one obviously is a negative. So if we go type, negative. So that's a negative one, so it's a -1 score. So if we come back out here, pick this up, you can see we've now gone from 0, so from +1, because a good example, let's just rename that. Scheduled live stream, for example. That's a positive thing I did today. It's +1. Go back to a 0 again, unfortunately, which sucks, but still. And then in here, let's think of something else. Yeah, that'll do for now. And then if I took my inhaler, I did actually today, so I took my inhaler, so it's great. And how am I feeling today? I'm feeling a bit orange today, which is fine. And so now inside of here, I am going to create a, let's come in here, delete. I'm going to come in here, and in my total score, I'm going to create a couple of formulas similar to the one I created back in here. So I'm going to be a bit cheeky and come in here and take this and do it again. So I save my time. There we go. So if prop feeling is equal to red, I'm going to add a -1 there. If prop feeling is equal to green. I'm going to set it to a bit higher because I like good days. And I'm going to put my feeling a bit rubbish to 0. If I'm feeling orange, I'm going to here do that. Otherwise, I'll do it as a 2. I don't know. Just for now, maybe a 1. There you go. So I've got the end of that, and then I'm going to add on the behavior score plus behavior score, and that gives me a total score. It's really simple, really kind of boring one, but yeah, it's there. Now you could separate this out a bit more if you wanted a little bit more. Oh, hang on. And then I forgot one more. And then we got my inhaler. So I want to see whether if I've taken my inhaler, that's a positive. If I haven't taken my inhaler, that's a negative. So I forgot to add this one. If prop inhaler, if prop inhaler then I will assign a 5. Otherwise, I'll assign a -3 or whatever it's going to be. It's not necessarily a good or a bad thing here. Problem found. I can't spell inhaler. My English is shocking. There we go. And so I kind of had this total score assigned of what my score is. It's completely rudimentary, but it gives me a good idea of kind of how I was feeling that day, how things are going. And so as I come in here every day, just going up to green, if I'm feeling really green, I have a good positive thing there. If I'm not feeling so good, orange, green. If you want a little bit of more context with that, not good. Meh. Good day. Like so. So let's for example, let's do 2 days live stream. So we've got 11th today live stream, 11th of the 5th, 2020. So we can get rid of these now. So it is 20 to 6 in my time. We're going to come back to the tasks in a minute, because that's going to be a database we're going to create in a minute. Excuse me. And then we've kind of got when it was created. I actually might change that to just a date. Change that created to a date, which was today, like so. And there. And so that's kind of what I've done. Little positive things. So the scheduled live stream is a bit bigger than that, so we'll remove that one because that's just an example. Things I want to do. So exhibit, remained calm during difficult during tech issues. There you go. Because believe me, oh, that's the wrong one. There you go. And that is a positive. There you go. And that journal day. So days I exhibited. Like so. And so there's a, this is actually inspired by Conrad's setup, another Notioner. I can't remember his last name. It is escaping me now because of course it's days. I don't know. He has something similar where he has like negative behaviors, which is all very well and good, but I would spend so much time filling that out. But I like to have positive and negative because it can really, it's a good boost. It's a good motivational boost to do more positive things and negative things as well, to track that as well as all the bad things, because I'm a very negative person. I can be anyway. So this links us to another little property, which just, you know, little bonus. Let's do. So sometimes you have a situation which normally is really negative, and it's something you really struggle with. Now, for me, I'm really, really, really quick to get frustrated when tech things go wrong, especially when I'm in the zone. So if tech gets in my way, I get really frustrated and I don't like it, as we all. And so if this is something that you deem to be something that you don't always do, but you've really like knuckled down and done it for a change, you can add a special bonus. So a rudimentary number of 3, for example. And then we're going to come up here, we're going to add our database here. We're going to add a plus and special bonus, like so. And I'm also going to add, oh, yeah, cool. Like that. That's in there. And so once again, you can see kind of like the score of how you're feeling, etc., etc. And it's kind of a nice little extra bonus. Now, what I would like to do is add another roll up. Let's just add another roll up here. This is a nice little extra thing that I wanted to add. So if there's a special bonus in one of these behaviors, I want to note that. I want to kind of note that, count values. There you go. So that's a special bonus. So every time I do something that warrants a kind of special bonus, I'm going to assign it, I'm going to count how many times that happened. And then what I'm going to do, my total score, so I'm going to add this in. So if a prop, special bonus, hang on. If prop special bonus, I've absolutely messed this up now. Hang on. If prop special bonus, yeah, that's cool. Then I'm going to add dual. Otherwise, blank. Okay, so I need to do if prop, so we want not empty. Empty. I swear there is a not empty property. Ah, I remember now. Operands. If empty. There. I cannot remember how to use the operand. I'm not the most proficient at this. Oh. Need to move that there. What am I missing? If empty. Ah, there we go. And then we're going to go format here. So there we are. Format value. There we go. I'm putting the format in one place. And there. Okay, cool. So I can't do that. Or at least I can't figure out how to do that. It's probably more correct. I'll just remove that. So, okay, cool. I'll have to come back to that a bit later on and figure that out. So, it's my journal. I would like to link to the projects. So, I'm going to check my projects, do a relation. Projects worked on. So, and do that there. I work on today. So, I did the live stream. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did today. What a day. And then what I'm going to do is going to have one more roll up. I love roll ups. Roll up, called it a roll up. Completed. Do a roll up here and worked on. Would this be status? Okay, so what I want to be able to do is assign a different value depending on whether the project status is. So if the project status is in progress, I can assign a different thing based on that. So we're going to add that in here. So add this in here. Prop. Okay. Me. So if a project is moved to complete, I'm going to add another extra little number there because it's kind of fun and kind of cool. I like numbers. So coming down here, we've got our journal set up. Now for now that's going to work. We're going to come in here and we're going to edit these. Journal. So I actually have a results one here, which is very similar. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to remove that actually, because I now can come in here. The journal there, 12 questions, whether it's related to a question, topic tag, month tag. I don't really use the month tag very much for my projects. There we go. Meetings, I always have meetings. Topic there. Week, So here I am right now. What I'm doing is just going through and removing the stuff that I don't want in my system anymore. I don't have a need for. So meetings, topics. I may end up adding these back in afterwards, but who knows? So that is the journal for now. Okay. I'm going to come back to that one later. Habit tracker. I'm actually implementing that inside of here. So I will inside my journal. So I'm going to remove that one for now. I might end up expanding that into its own thing when I have more habits I want to track, but that's what I'm going to do for now. So content planner, multi-layer actions list, financial tracker. I'm going to do the financial tracker on the stream. So let's have a look at what to do next. So let's do the action kind of planner. So actions. Oh. So I already actually have something similar here. Let's come out here now, and we're going to come into here and just make sure everything is all good within my weekly planner. That's good. Meetings I got this week. Awesome. So back out and base. So back into my system design. So here are a couple of other things that I want to have. My product notebooks, client questions and onboarding, collaborations. So these are things I want to do next. So people, I've actually started on my people's database that's come in here. Just make sure everything's working out well for that one. There they are. So this is inspired by Marie. She made a people's database which kind of that's all the people that she follows. Basically is how I'm using it. And inside of here, I have a link to articles, courses, books. There's one more thing I want to add in here actually. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So first of all, I'm going to hide this because I like to keep things as minimal as possible, open them if I want to see them. So I'll do that here. Open here. And then resources and books. I do actually have a book by Tiago. I need to put that in there. I'll do that in a second. There we are. One more thing. That's pretty good. Yeah, cool. So my little people dashboard links into like my topics. I keep using the names interchangeably. It's actually a topic, not really a tag. The courses, might be, and then different articles that I've read. I want to look at books I can. I'm going to hide that for now because not often I have those books here. Cool. So I'm going to grab myself a drink. That's that there. Oh, put that away. So we're going to come in here. That's an old one. Cool. So, I'm going to leave it there for this time. So thank you for whoever has joined me. I hope you have found it useful. Let's just come over here and see if everything's going well. Cool, that's some people. Excellent. I didn't actually see that. So thank you for joining me so far. This is just the start. I hope that you enjoyed what I did today. If you have any feedbacks or comments, please let me know. I'm going to be doing more of these over time and hopefully get slightly better at streaming what I'm doing. This is literally just brain dumping and stuff like that as I go. If there's anything you'd like to see me create, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, that's me today. So thank you for joining me, all who did. And yeah, speak to you soon.